Welcome back to the channel. If you are completely new to SAP ABAP, don't worry. This course is designed for absolutely beginners. By the end of this course, you will understand SAP ABAP from basics to advanced concepts. Let us consider an example. Imagine you are working a company like Amazon. When a customer places an order, many departments work together like sales, inventory, finance, delivery. Without an ERP, they use different software, making coordination difficult. ERP solves this by connecting all departments in one system. That is called ERP, Enterprise Resource Planning. Firstly, we will go with syllabus. Here we will discuss the ERP ABAP basics. Here, introduction to ERP, introduction to SAP, SAP Domains, SAP Project Lifecycle, introduction to ABAP. Then we will go with data dictionaries. In data dictionaries, database tables, structures, views, search helps, log objects, internal tables, and types of internal tables. Then we will go with report programming. Here, report programming consisting of OpenSQL statements, debugging program, types of reports, background processing, SAP modularization techniques, subroutines, function modules, includes macros. Then go with object-oriented programming. Here we will discuss about the overview, defining and implementing a class, program features, and one overall OOP example. Then enhancement framework. In enhancement frameworks, overview of enhancement, user exits and customer exits, implementing function menu, screen exits. Bad is implicit, explicit enhancements. Then SAP interfacing techniques. Here we have ALE, IDOC, web services, sproxy, OData services. Finally, SAP ABAP WDA. It means WebDyn Pro, transport request approaches, brief discussion of legacy system migration workflow, and other data load. WebDyn Pro ABAP. First start with introduction. Here we will cover with these topics in the introduction. Introduction to ERP. See, in this slide, every department connected to the ERP database, like purchasing connected to the centralized database, inventory connected to the centralized database, production, sales, finance, human resource, and all the departments connected to the centralized ERP database. So, we will get a doubt. Then ERP, what is meant by ERP? ERP stands for Enterprise Resource Planning. Actually, it means it is a business management software system which helps the organizations to integrate the different departments with the different business activities through a single centralized data system. Then here so many pros and consequences are there. So go through this. Here we are getting a doubt about what is meant by centralized database. So we will discuss about the centralized database. A centralized database means the important data of different departments is stored and managed in one central database. Instead of each department maintaining completely separate databases, like we will get some consequences. Without an ERP, it means sales sales have sales department, inventory has inventory department, production has production department separately. But with the ERP mean sales, inventory, production, it all undergoes centralized database. All the data will be stored in centralized database. So it will easy to access the data and it does not allow the duplicate data and better for integration when we use the centralized database. Without ERP, it will require the manual work and the duplicate data will be stored. If we consider like when a order is purchased, then the sales department stored the sales data and inventory also stored the one customer data, production also stored the customer data. Then it comes to duplicate, the confusion may be occur. So duplicate data, manual data transfer, data inconsistency, delayed updates, and more maintenance will be causes without an ERP. So, example, we will say that let us consider 100 units of laptops. When inventory database says 80 units are available, then sales will shows the 70 units are available. So without an ERP, it's difficult to separate the what quantities is available like that. Then advantages of ERP. Here, centralized database, better decision making, faster business process, data accuracy, reducing the manual work, real-time reporting. These all are the benefits of enterprise resource planning. Then we will discuss about the SAP. So here we understand the concept of ERP. Now we will went through the introduction to SAP. What is meant by SAP? SAP stands for System, Applications and Products in Real-Time Data Processing. SAP is a major enterprise software company. Actually, it is produced the software as ERP. It is managing the software as ERP, which integrates business processes such as finance, sales, purchasing, inventory, and production. One most important point to understand that ERP and SAP. SAP is a company that provides ERP software and many other enterprise solutions. Now we will get an idea about this. This is an ERP and these are all the departments like finance, sales, purchasing, inventory, production, human sources. So these are all the departments managed by one centralized system, that is ERP, Enterprise Resource Planning. So we will get the one doubt, why SAP? Now let's understand why organizations use SAP. The first reason is integration. Different business departments can work together through integrated business processes. SAP can also help organizations manage business data consistently, automate processes, access information for reporting, support, standardized business operations. For large organizations, scalability is also important because the system needs to support so many business operations. So here mainly for business process integration, centralized data, automation, real-time information, standardized processes, reporting and analysis. Every company needs a report of what the products will be sold and what the products will be get, and reduce the manual work also. So here we can understand that what is meant by ERP and what is meant by SAP. Now SAP domains. Here we are having the functional domains and the technical domain. In SAP is functional means here business processes and configuration SAP according to the business requirements. Here we are having the functional domains like material management, sales and distribution, production planning, like that. Technical professionals work more on technical side of the SAP system, that is ABAP, advanced business application programming, master data governance, like that. SAP basis, these are the technical domains. So here we can say as overall view. Here FI provides the financial accounting, which is used for manage the accounts and balance sheet, like what are the sales, what are the get the products, like balance sheets, profits, losses. Those are all calculated in the SAP FI. SAP CO, it is for controlling. Here cost control, budget planning at the starting of any industry started. SAP material management used for purchasing, vendor management, inventory, sales and distribution used for sales order, billing, shipping, like that. Like those HCM, QM, PM, PP. These are also the functional blocks, functional modules which are provided by the SAP. When it comes to SAP ABAP, that is the technical module. It is actually a programming language. It is used by the PLSQL. Developers use ABAP to customize SAP. Whenever the client wants to a new report or screen, It means already SAP consisting of one report. If the client was needed the one new report, then it will be used by the enhancements. ABAP developers build it. Here we understand what SAP is, how SAP relates to ERP, why organizations use SAP, and the difference between functional and technical areas. So you will get an idea about the ERP, SAP, and what are the domains provided and why SAP like that. Now welcomes to the SAP architecture. Actually, SAP architecture follows the three-tier architecture that is consisting of client and server. Here, first, the three-tier architectures are first is presentation layer, then application layer, then database layer. Here, presentation layer. The first layer is the presentation layer. This is a front end through which the user interacts with the SAP system. When the user wants to give the inputs and shows the display output, these are all undergoes the presentation layer. Here we are using the technologies like Webdin Pro, Fiori, SAP GUI, etc. The second layer is application layer. Here application layer is undergoes the business logic when the program wants to execute in the application server. The third layer is database server. The database layer is stores the data which is like master data, transaction data, and application data. So like that, when the presentation layer is a request to send to the application server to get the data from the database server, then application server send the request to the database server and get the data as a response and send the response to the presentation layer to show the user. Here we will see the overall SAP architecture. So these are all discussed in the previous slide. See the SAP architecture. Here presentation layer is the front end. It is completely depends on the user to show the interface, and application tier. Application tier is the middlemost layer which is handle the business logic, and database layer. Database layer is used to store the data like master data, transactional data, and application data. Whenever the presentation layer needs the data, it will send to the data to the application tier. Then in database we are using like Oracle, SAP HANA. Recent days we are using SQL Server, IBM DB2, like that. It will all store the data. On the right side, we have some components like SAP GUI, Fiori, web browser, application server, SAP services, SAP components, business logic, and all. So, the application server handles application processing. SAP services and components supports different system functions. Business logic consisting of rules and processing required by the applications. So these are all undergoes the SAP architecture. Now we will get SAP project lifecycle. We will know about the project lifecycle. So briefly we will discuss about it. The sequence of phases followed to plan. The project will be started from plan, implement, test, deploy, support, and SAP solution. Here, in this phase, the organization defines the project scope and objective in the plan. Then, business blueprint. Once the project is prepared, we move to the business blueprint phase. So, here, what we will do, gather the business requirements, analysis, and basis team members, project managers, etc. The consultants who work with business users to understand how the company currently perform its business processes, how to sell products, how to manage inventory, how does it handle function transactions. The team that defines how these business processes should work in SAP, like that, undergoes the business blueprint. When it comes to realization, after the requirements are finalized, we move to the realization phase. This is where the planned SAP solution is actually built. Here undergoes the functional consultant configure SAP according to the business requirements. Technical developer develop the custom technical objects that are required. So here our ABAP developer will do here realizations. What they will do? Reports, interfaces, forms, enhancements, data migration programs that all develop in the realization stage. Then testing. Once configuration and development are completed, we cannot immediately move to the production. The solution needs to be tested. Testing is extremely important because we need to make sure that the system works correctly, the business requirements have been satisfied, like that. Here we are having the unit testing, integration testing, user acceptance testing, defect fixing, like that in the testing modules. After that testing, we will have the go live. Once testing is successfully completed and the organization is ready to go live phase. Live phase means SAP system starts being used for actual business operations. The last one is a support. After go live, the project does not simply end. The system now enters the support phase. Real users working with the system, the issues will come and the new requirement it is difficult to use. That's why the support will be needed to solve the resolutions and also enhancements that all undergoes the support team to fix the bugging and debugging, performance improvements, enhancements, new reports, like that undergoes the support. Now, SAP implementation lifecycle. SAP implementation lifecycle consisting of project preparation, blueprint, realization, final preparation, go live, support and improvement. Here, support and improvement is one additional module we will get. Finally, we have support and improvement. The production system is continuously monitored and supported. That is the implementation phase. Here continuously having the ABAP developer in the life cycle because blueprint understand requirements for the reports, interfaces, forms, enhancements that all done by the ABAP developer. Introduction to ABAP. Here ABAP stands for Advanced Business Application Programming. From here onwards, somewhat important to discuss. So it is a SAP programming language. We already tell about it is a business application programming which is done by using programming language. Here mainly used the PLSQL to do the reports, forms, interfaces, data dictionaries, enhancements, OData services, CDS view. Here SAP plus customer specific requirement equal to ABAP development. It means SAP has already standard codes and standard tables and standard data. When the customer needs the additional changes, then ABAP development will be done. Like they will do as reports, forms, interfaces, enhancements, data programs, and APIs or data services like interfacing techniques. They will do. Now, you may have a question. If SAP already provides a standard functionality, why do we need ABAP? The answer is that every organization has unique business requirements. SAP provides standard functionality for many common business processes, but sometimes customer needs something specific that is not available in the standard system. Like one company, one company need a customer sales report. So special invoice format interface with another application to develop the required solution. Then ABAP developer is needed to solve the program. Okay. Then here majorly ABAP developer doing the reports. We will discuss about the special topic is their reports. There we will discuss the classical report, interactive report, and ALV report, and forms, smart forms. We will discuss their interfaces like ALE, IDOC, and then OData services, web services. We will discuss their enhancement, user exit, customer exit, implicit, explicit. We will discuss there, like that. We will have separate topics to explain everything. So Any doubts will be there, do the comment section. Thank you.